There anybody here that knows that God gave you some power? Anybody here know that Jesus, when he left, he says, I'm going to give you the same power I got, so that not only can you do these things you've seen me do, but you can do greater. So he tells them, he says, son, forget not my laws, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Watch this. One of the problems we have is that we got a head problem. We have a head problem. We hear stuff and we leave it in our head and store it in the back and think we can call it up when we need it. When some things you can't leave to your head, you got to put it in your heart. Y'all ain't catching me. You ain't catching me. Some things you have to put in your heart, because when you put stuff in your heart, can't nobody get to it. See, people can mess with your head, but they can't get to your heart. Especially if it's something that God gave you. There's nothing they can do to mess with your heart. And when you get it in your heart, watch this. When you get it in your heart, you find a way to overcome whatever it is. Even though if you truly love somebody from your heart, no matter what y'all do and no matter what happens, your heart tells you, listen, you can make this work. The problem is, too many of us got the word in our head and not in our heart. Because if it's in your heart, then you'll practice it. You'll practice it. In other words, I don't just hear it, but I do it. I live it. I walk it. I talk it. I live it, so that people can see that I am a child of God. I am willing to say that there are some folks here today that you're around some folks who really can't believe you're a Christian. They really wouldn't believe it if you told them. Because if you're a Christian and they have some understanding of Christians, then you ought to be different than everybody else. What do you mean, Reverend? True Christians do not join in with negative stuff. True Christians don't want to hear negative talk, because when a Christian hears negative talk, they can reach in it and retune it and restructure it and say, listen, there's some good in here. You just missed it. When a true Christian hears people talking about somebody, they can actually say, you know what? That may be true, but I believe in their heart that God got some good there. And what we all have to do is reach in, stir it up a little bit so that it'll come out. Instead of saying, you right, they ain't no good, ain't never gonna be no good, ain't nothing right about them. I know it get quiet. But the father wanted his son to say, he says, listen, take this stuff to heart, because sooner or later you're going to have to use it. It does you no good to be able to quote scripture and can't live it. does you no good to just go around slanging scripture. And then every time Satan whoop you, you got your head down. You running around telling everybody else how they